Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time with Uncle Twirl. Before we start the show, I definitely wanted to just kind of share a message that's been on my heart with you guys. I think I'll call this segment 2 Minutes of Tea. I was at a birthday party recently for one of my friends, and someone asked her, what has been bringing you joy this year? And she shared that she had been struggling with joy. And that really resonated with me. I know there's a lot going on. I know sometimes I struggle with joy. I know globally, everyone's been impacted by a lot of things that are happening in our society. And I wanted to share something that helps me when I am searching for joy and I can't seem to find it. I choose instead to search for gratitude. I list the things that I'm grateful for. My health, shelter, my friends, a job that get on my nerves, but it pays me. Just different things that kind of illuminate, like, these are things that I am grateful for. These are things that help bring me back to a center. They lay a foundation for something that makes me feel less overwhelmed, less sad. And so for those of you who are also struggling with joy, I would challenge you to look for some of the things that you're grateful for, search for those things. And I would love if you left them in the comments. I would love to see you list some of the things that you're grateful for, things that you are thankful for, things that kind of help you find your center when you too are not really feeling joyous. The joy will return. But in the meantime, I think gratitude is important. And so this has been 2 Minutes of Tea. I love you, and I can't wait to see what you write in the comments. All right, enjoy the show.
It's tea time with Uncle Twirl. Let me go grab my coat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Season 3 of Tea Time with Uncle Twirl. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Sipping and spilling with us today, guys. Very special guest. Father, actor, hometown hero, the bearded wonder. Marcus Hopkins-Turner is in the building. Yes, give it up to him. Yes, y'all, he's here. We're so grateful to have him. Cheers, my brother. Welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, no problem.
Today we're drinking this hibiscus ginger, because it's good for your throat. It's good for you. Okay, guys? It warms it up. How are you?
I'm great.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
You look like you're illuminated. You're bright.
I'll take illuminating.
Yeah.
I am bright. I do feel that.
You holding it down for the light skin community.
I'll take that. We're out here. It's been hot. The sun has been,
It's kind of crazy.
Woo.
It's kind of crazy. I was just
Light
in
skin's
Cabo.
gotta take it easy.
I got back from Cabo, and the sun was radioactive there. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to tan. I'm going to come back bronze. I want to be bronze. And I just burnt. I was so sunburnt. Like, sunscreen don't work for me. I've given up.
I thought I tanned well, but I don't. I usually look like what's the name from Tropic Thunder?
Robert Downey Jr.?
I look like Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it's a bad look. It's not a good look.
We're gonna leave tanning to the whites, guys.
Yeah,
we are. Okay, so before we get into it, we're gonna play a few games.
I'll play a game. Let's do it.
Okay, so the first game we're gonna play is called Super Spill. You guys that watch the show know this. So I'm gonna give you a this or that. Okay. You're gonna pick which one you're gravitating towards most. Okay. If you don't want to pick one, you just take a sip.
Okay.
Because we don't force nobody to do nothing around here.
A sip of tea.
A sip of tea. It's tea.
It's tea.
Okay, but what's in your mug is your business. Okay, no judgment. Y'all already know. Okay, first up, oysters or Korean barbecue?
Oh, that's a hard choice.
I mean,
dang.
What?
Oh, Optimus has a really good oyster selection. Korean barbecue goes crazy though. Korean barbecue. I ran across this place that does hot pot and Korean barbecue at this. Yeah, man. And they just took so much of my money. They took so much of my money.
As they do.
I will say, because see, when oysters aren't good, it's really not good.
Facts.
Man, Korean barbecue because the kids like Korean barbecue
right.
too. Yeah.
When say y'all. Okay, lemon pepper wet or dry?
So I just got these wings from Urban Wings on Moreland.
I heard it was good.
Urban Wings smacks, bro.
Shout out to Urban Wings.
Smacks.
They're not sponsoring this video.
At Moreland and Glenwood. Go. And I had, because I'm usually a dry guy. I like all kind of dry rubs on my wings, like whether it's lemon pepper or whatever, but I don't know. I had a little saucy wing and I was like, dang.
It changed you. I'm different.
I'm changing.
So what are we doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna say wet.
Period.
I'm there now. Today.
Everything's better wet. Okay. Television or theater?
We talking about money or what?
Look, As long as I can spend it.
Let me say, for me, theater.
Okay.
I mean, I love all types of, being able to communicate in that fashion.
Right.
But theater for me.
Period.
Yeah.
SZA or Alicia Keys?
Oh. I know my girl gonna watch this, and so I'm gonna say Alicia Keys for
Big
a couple of reasons. Because SZA, both of them very beautiful women.
Yes. Very talented.
Very talented.
Beautiful gowns.
Alicia Keys, just kind of beautiful gowns. Alicia Keys holds a special place for me just because we grew up with
songs
that
in A
music.
minor. Let me tell you.
Diary?
Changed me.
Crazy.
I got a diary after the song came out.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh. All right.
That was judgment, guys. In case you don't know when someone's judging you, that is a good case in point right there.
But
so,
SZA bad.
Yeah, I mean, she is
bad.
beautiful.
And the music is, she's been a consistent top charter for a minute, man.
Big facts. I don't know what she's saying, but the vibes are there. I be vibing with SZA. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, so Alicia Keys, shout out to her. Hamilton or Les Miserables?
Oh, man, Hamilton.
Big facts.
Hamilton. Les Mis is great. Love the music from Les Mis. But it's select things from Les Mis.
Facts.
You sit through the whole Les Mis, there's some points where it's like, this don't really need to be sung.
Facts.
Or in the show.
Yeah. The first time I saw Les Mis, I think I was 10. They took us from Payne Forest on a field trip up there.
That's a hard watch.
And everybody fell asleep. All the kids. And I'm sitting there like this. Taking it. My mom was like, I should have known
Les
then.
Mis for a 10-year-old is
it's tough.
Yeah,
I was
that's
into
a tough
it. I
one.
said, who is gonna die next? Oh my gosh.
But the kids love Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
We took them to see Hamilton when it came to the Fox, and they love it.
How was the touring cast? Were they good?
Yeah. These boys are great. These folks they show up and they do the thing. It's a hard, very energetic show.
Facts.
And they're great. I haven't heard a lot of like
negative
bad
reviews.
Versions of Hamilton. They're usually pretty consistent.
Right.
We saw in Aladdin up on Broadway there, the Jasmine wasn't super great. I don't know who she was. I'm not gonna say what year we went, because I feel like I have friends who would know. But yeah, the Hamilton cast seemed to be pretty consistent.
Yeah, I love Hamilton. Good choice.
It's great. It's
okay.
a good show.
Yu Yu Hakusho or Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan.
Yu
Yu Hakusho is nostalgic, but the storytelling of Attack on Titan, especially like if you can't binge watch it,
right?
If you can't binge watch all the seasons of Attack on Titan, what it does to you, is from a storytelling perspective is crazy.
And see, I kind of fell off when Aaron lost his mind. I said, I don't know who this man.
No.
Who's this man? Sorry to this man.
No, you gotta
No spoilers.
I won't. But you stop watching.
I have not watched.
Wow.
I think I stopped at the end of season 2 or 3.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you got to get into it.
Don't judge me.
You got to get back into it because it's
I've been
just
watching Demon Slayer. Don't judge me.
it's so you said you don't watch Demon Slayer.
No, I've been watching Demon
Oh.
Slayer. Demon Slayer, My Hero. Those are my.
I was gonna leave.
Yeah.
Because I thought you said you didn't watch Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and you would have been well within your right.
You're right.
Yeah,
I know.
correct.
I know.
Okay, next. Batman or Superman?
Batman. Okay, Batman, because Henry Cavill is one of my favorite actors because one, he's super hot. Geez, the guy's a nerd.
Big
Love
facts.
that.
Big facts.
And he puts so much. He's gorgeous, but he also puts so much of himself into things. Like when he was playing Superman, he talked so much about what he went through physically, to get a certain look. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about.
Big facts.
But Batman is a better character.
Yeah, the Dark Knight series is iconic.
Okay. Because we were talking about Christopher Nolan earlier before y'all didn't hear that.
Yeah, y'all weren't here.
Welcome. Yeah, but we were talking about Christopher Nolan. So those were good movies. But Ben Affleck is my Batman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I'm a Michael Keaton to the day I die.
I'll give you Michael Keaton.
To the day I die.
I just tried to force the kid to watch Beetlejuice.
Yes.
So I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And his that moment in Spider-Man when Peter Parker comes into the house.
Yeah.
And he finds out that Michael Keaton, the Vulture, is the daddy.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, mind blown.
Yes.
Great. Love Michael Keaton. But Ben Affleck's my Batman.
Got it.
He's built like Batman. Batman has to fight superpowered beings.
That's true.
So what's your boy's name? What's
Robert Pattinson?
No, please.
Val Kilmer.
No.
George Clooney.
No, Dark Knight.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
He's my least favorite Batman.
He's
a great Bruce Wayne.
He can't be Batman.
Yeah, no.
Because I could box him. If Christian Bale walked through these doors and we get I have no faith that Christian Bale would fight me.
I was feeling like you were gonna say that. Can we bring him in? Yeah, guys, it's happening. It's happening. Hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Okay. Dancing or singing?
Never dancing. It could be anything. It could be anything.
Get someone else to do it.
Yeah, it could be anything but dancing.
The Prestige or The Last Unicorn?
Why did you do that? That's so ugly.
Choose ye this day who you shall serve.
Oh, man. I'm going to say The Prestige.
Okay.
Mina, I'm sorry. I love The Last Unicorn. It's still wonderful. But you know.
Okay.
You know.
Peach cobbler or banana pudding?
Where am I getting it from?
That's a good question. I don't eat either, so I can't really recommend. But I know it's controversial.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
You got it because some places like, So I grew up next to the Beautiful. You know, if y'all know, if y'all know the Beautiful, like right on Cascade, and so I much prefer their banana pudding over any of their cobblers. Not to say their cobblers are bad, but I like their banana pudding. But there's some places I go where I'm like, I'm only here for the peach cobbler.
Facts. So who's getting it? Is it banana? Is it peach?
I'm gonna say banana pudding to piss Mina off because she hates bananas.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry for the slander, guys. I already said I don't like either, but bananas, dear God.
Banana pudding is...
Dear God. Bananas, not only do they go bad quickly, they cause everything around them to go bad. I just am not a fan.
It's a solid fruit, though.
Yeah, it's a biological terror. Last one.
Okay.
Denzel Washington or Will Smith?
Denzel.
That was easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
Sorry, Will. I love you.
Well, I love you, Will, but as an actor, I mean, Gladiator looked like it's
boy,
about to smack.
You saw that trailer? Sorry, y'all.
Things look like it's about to smack. And like, Denzel isn't like showing any signs of regression as an actor.
Facts.
Even at this stage in his life.
I read after he did The Equalizer, he was like, I'm gonna take a break. Then that nigga popped up in The Gladiator. I said, what's going on?
And did you see Equalizer?
What?
Whew.
Did I see it?
Loved it.
I almost became it. Okay. We talk about that later.
What do you mean by that?
We don't have to worry about that. Sorry, guys. I'm talking too much. I can see there are people in the studio. I see someone looking at me because when we were talking about Gladiator, we had just been talking about the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to see it. Then I was like, I didn't see the first one though.
Whoa!
Yeah, okay, look. Don't judge me. That was also, okay, first of all, it's too many open mouths. It's too many open mouths. Okay?
No, that's,
too many open mouths. Hey guys, hey.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty, like the bananas, I'll give a pass.
All right.
But that's pretty unacceptable.
All right, guys. Well,
you should know that.
I grew up in a very specific household, and we weren't watching white films. So,
but you should know that though. I just want you to.
I know who's in it. Russell Crowe. I know he's a gladiator.
Okay, I want you to. Who else is in it?
Russell Crowe.
Great.
Who else needs to be in it?
Joaquin Phoenix. Like, come on.
Yeah, they got Phoenix. It's like Harry Potter. They got animals in it. Is animals in there? What's the gladiator
about?
There
are animals in it, but it's not like Harry Potter.
What?
No.
You said there's Phoenix is in it. That's
Joaquin. The guy who played Joker?
I didn't see that either. You know, we're going to move on to the next game. I'm feeling judged and I don't like it. Okay. So the next game we're playing is called Genre Genius. Okay. So I'm going to give you the title of a movie film. You'll pick an iconic line from it of your choosing. And then, you'll say the line how they say it in the movie. Okay. Then I'm going to change the genre. I'm going to be like, now do it in horror.
Oh,
do it in thriller. Give me suspense. Because you're a thespian, honey, and we want to see those chops.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be.
Okay, so Genre Genius. The first movie is Black Panther.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have the line?
I don't.
Do you have? Are you searching? Look, we're gonna time. We don't have Jeopardy music here because we.
I'm probably going to jack the line up. Let me see. Okay.
Okay, you got one?
Wait, okay. I might have it. I don't know.
Okay. Black Panther and scene.
Throw me into the ocean with my ancestors because they knew death was better than bondage. Do y'all remember that?
It was terrible.
It was so bad.
It was a really bad line. Hey, Michael. Hi. It was terrible. It was terrible. You didn't sell it, and I love you. The rest of it, hey, auntie, I was there for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
got the best line in the movie.
Yeah.
And was just like,
it was terrible.
I'm gonna just say it.
I hope they resurrect him so he can do it over. Okay, so that's the line.
Okay.
Now give it horror.
Like. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Oh, this is so ridiculous.
That's the point. We're very unserious
Oh
here.
my God. Throw me into the water because my ancestors knew that death was better than
Very good. Very good. Okay.
I was scared. Did you see me being scared?
I felt the fear.
I was scared
when you
of
turned
Christian
and pivoted it, I was like, ooh.
Christian Bale was coming.
He was coming in to box you. Yeah. Give me rom-com.
You know, I just read a really interesting article about rom-coms.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's interesting because we talk a lot about nepotism in the industry.
Facts.
And so the lead guy in The Boys,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all watch The Boys.
The lead guy, which one?
The young dude. He plays the young guy. His
The
girlfriend
one
was
dating
blonde.
Starlight?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
His mom is Meg Ryan. His daddy is Dennis Quaid.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
And so he made a point not to do a lot of rom-coms because his mom is Meg Ryan.
Right. She's a rom-com queen.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So just a little
Okay.
information. Not.
And now,
Okay, here we go.
rom-com.
Throw me into the ocean because my ancestors knew that death was better than bondage. Was that?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I leaned
it's
into
just
it.
a little romantic. The lean in was romantic.
Because the person is
Yeah,
there
it was
at
giving. It was giving romance.
the coffee shop with me.
Okay,
They're sitting there. That's why I did it that way.
Let's do mystery.
Mystery.
Yes. Mystery suspense.
I was going to put my hand up to my mouth because I feel like this is mysterious.
I like it. Go.
If my agent is watching this, please do not release me.
He's killing
Okay. All right, relax.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
all right, we got it.
Okay.
Throw me into the ocean with my ancestors
Period.
because they knew. Damn, I can't finish the line.
Sorry.
Is that it?
Sorry.
No, it's ruined.
Sorry.
I'm ready.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're gonna switch titles. Now we're
Okay.
gonna do Dream Girls.
Dream Girls.
Okay. Do you have a line? Do you have
I
a
don't.
line?
Let me think.
Let me know when you got it.
Like a sung line, like it can be from a
anything.
song. Okay.
Look. Free reign.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
And go.
You want my loving soul right on the line. All right, nailed it.
And you do. Okay. Now do the same line.
Hire me. I do birthday parties.
But in a thriller. You're being chased. Thriller.
Should I run?
I mean,
Should
if
I get up and
if
run?
you can stay in frame.
Will Nadia get mad at me if I get up and run?
She's shaking her head yes.
Yeah, she said
So maybe we shouldn't.
maybe we shouldn't run. You want my loving soul right on the line.
I love that. Okay. Let's do psychological thriller.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
What
like-
what movie is that? Give me an example.
It's Split. It's
Okay.
Gone Girl.
Oh,
It's
Ben Affleck. Thank you, Batman.
See?
Crazy movie. That's a
Mhm.
crazy good movie.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like Ben Affleck's there. You see it. You want my loving soul right on the line?
That was actually really good.
Oh, shit.
I was a little afraid.
Somebody needs to hire me, bro. Somebody, please.
You were slick channeling Denzel a little bit.
Give me money
It was giving.
to do the thing I just did.
Okay, last genre. Let's see. Let's do horror again because you know it's my
Oh,
favorite
my
genre.
God.
Let's do horror. It's my favorite genre, guys. Like, who doesn't love a scary movie?
It took me like 3 to 4 weeks to watch The Conjuring.
It's pretty scary.
It's very
And it's
scary.
one of my favorite series. The
It's
second one's terrifying.
Horrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
All of them in the universe.
Yes.
Abigail, The Nun.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Shout out to Abby. Hey, girl.
What am I doing again?
Horror. Yes.
The line.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want my loving soul? Right on the line? I feel like that's what I did last time.
You know
And I
what?
looked in the same spot too.
But to be honest, I felt more
It's
terror.
not my best work.
I felt more terror that time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was giving.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Genre genius, everybody. Very good.
Yay!
Very good. You killed it. Let me tell you something. That last one, though, that psychological thriller,
You were ready.
That might be your new lane.
It should be.
You really should.
Did I have an old lane?
Well,
I don't think I've had a lane.
I feel like
This could be the first lane I've had.
This could be your newest new of lanes. Yeah. I say switch lanes. Very good. Okay,
Thank you.
so final game.
Uh-huh.
It's called Prop Improv. It's time for Prop Improv. I really need something that sings. Okay,
You should.
I think it'll be me, guys. You know, for
I really
reasons.
like puppets. I like puppets a lot. Maybe you should get a puppet
Interesting.
that sings.
I don't want to steal Jeff Dunham's act, but you know,
No, yeah, you should get a singing
time.
puppet. I really like puppets.
for all the puppeteers out there.
Some people
shout out to y'all.
know that how much I like puppets.
We're gonna unpack that later.
Okay.
Okay, so we have some props that we've selected next to us, and so we'll just take turns picking up a prop and acting out an improv
I picked it up.
situation.
Sorry.
It's fine. You can go first.
No,
okay?
I don't know how to play.
Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate first with one of my props. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Like a virgin, touch for the very first time.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, and then you'll go.
So I pick up a prop.
You pick up one of the props you selected, and then you have to do something with the prop. Improv. Improvisation.
So, I took a class at Dad's Garage. Shout out to Dad's Garage because of how terrible I was at improving in situations like this.
Yes. Improv lives matter.
So this could be a really poor indictment on Dad's Garage, and I apologize. All right, here we go. This is a rocket. I got an improv. Here we go. I think if I say "here we go" enough times, it'll just happen.
Go. Yeah.
It'll just
manifest it.
Manifest.
Manifestation.
Yeah. Oh, y'all remember that thing? Rocket Man. When he took y'all know the song Rocket Man?
That's Elton John?
Elton John, but William Shatner did it as a monologue.
Okay.
And it's one of the worst things ever. And they made fun of it on Family Guy. So maybe I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't really know the lyrics. Rocket Man.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. What's your safe word?
Oh, it doesn't just have to be movies and stuff.
No.
Oh, it can be
improv.
anything.
You just
it's
use it
improv.
to create the fantasy, honey.
I think this might be worse than the rocket. These are lips.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm some lips. All right. Okay. I can figure out something better than I'm some lips.
All right.
I write sometimes. I've written things. I don't know if you can tell, but nobody has seen the things.
It's fine.
But I've written them.
You did it.
Because it's a mouth and it screamed.
You did very good.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. The descent is swift.
Man, they ain't really shoot that nigga this shit. And scene. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. We ain't say no names.
Why did I pick this now? This is... Okay. All right. Improv with a rope. It's a rope.
It is.
Yeehaw.
And that's my Friday night.
Like a cowboy. Because it looks like a lasso.
Am I a cow? It's fine.
It's the black and white.
You know it is. I know.
Yeah.
When I said it and realized what I was wearing, I said I set myself up.
And I complimented the shirt earlier. I really like this
Gratitude.
shirt. I would wear it.
Gratitude. Okay.
Okay.
This is my final prop, guys.
Yep.
I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Something's wrong with my tongue.
Oh, it's your tongue.
something's
I thought
wrong.
it was snot. Tongue makes a lot more sense.
You know, we
All
don't
right.
always do it successfully. Here we go.
I usually last a lot longer.
And scene.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah. They're gonna revoke my thing.
Oh
They're
my
gonna
gosh.
take the thing back.
It was iconic.
They're gonna
actually.
take
No.
the
I think after
improv.
this, you'll be getting more calls than you think. Okay.
Well,
All right. So now we're gonna move into our interview segment. Okay, this is the portion where we get in Marcus's business. Okay, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I like to start everything off with an origin story.
Okay.
So let's talk about where you were born and raised, and who introduced you to the theater.
Okay. I was born in Southwest Atlanta at Southwest Hospital. I don't know.
Lots.
It doesn't exist any. I mean, it's something else now, but it's not Southwest Hospital, Southwest Medical Center. It's not the same thing. I grew up like right off of Cascade Road between Cascade and Campbellton. Near the beautiful restaurant. So like DeLo, if anybody knows, you know, that's where I grew up.
Real Atlanta.
Yeah. I grew up in the YMCA on Campbellton. It's what's it called now? Young Family YMCA. It used to be Southwest. So that's why I had my first job. I had my first job. Worked there for like 4 years.
And who introduced you to the theater?
So my parents were theater goers. They went to a lot of theater. So they took me and the sister that's closest to me, Amber. Yeah. And so like I told you earlier, she ended up on Broadway. So she got the theater bug. She was in Legally Blonde for a few years. So yeah, my parents were very much into the arts. My mom worked at the National Black Arts Festival for over 20 years, you know, so we were in it.
Period.
You know, yeah. So we were part of like.
They're not new to this, they true to this. Period. Big acting genes.
Clock it.
Big acting
I think that's what, do the young people say that?
Yes.
Clock it.
They do.
Is that a TikTok thing?
Get into it.
Get into it.
Period. Who?
Son.
Okay. Next question. What is your favorite role to play, Ben, and why? And do you have a dream role?
Okay, can I give two answers?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first, I played High Priest Hotep in a production of Prince of Egypt out in a theater in Utah called Tuacahn Center for the Performing Arts, and I really enjoyed that show. It's one of the biggest shows I've been a part of. 2,500 seat theater. Stephen Schwartz was in the room with us. We had people from like NBC. It was just a really cool. I made a lot of friends. A lot of people from that show either came from Broadway, went to Broadway or national tours. Very talented cast. Yeah, so like just being like that. We had camels in the show, horse-drawn carriages. There was pyro. The set pieces were like 3 stories tall.
Wow.
It was amazing. Another one, I did the show Hands Up at the Alliance. And even though it wasn't really a role, it was a series of monologues. The content of it was, they were all beautifully done. And it spoke to like police violence and that experience, specifically from Black males. There was also a Black female portion, but it was mostly the Black male experience and their relation to cops. And we would do talkbacks after the shows with the audience members. It was at the Hurt stage at the Alliance, their smaller stage. And one evening we had a guy, Black guy, who was a police officer, but he was also a father of a son. And he just sat there and cried. And he was like, a lot of times I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say to my son.
Even being a police officer, which is crazy.
Even being a police officer.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because a lot of us got the talks like, hey, you know, if you're pulled over, don't say anything, don't do anything.
Be respectful.
It doesn't matter. Like, even if they're in the wrong, like, you make sure that you just get home alive. So like that, like having that experience with that audience was, you know,
special.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
dream role.
Oh, dream role. In theater, what would I want to do? I want to be in Hamilton. That'd be cool, but I don't really dance, so that's kind of.
Look.
Yeah.
You could be Hercules Mulligan. He ain't moved that much.
You know what's crazy? I don't know, do I get in trouble for this? I had a callback for Mulligan, and they gave me all of the stuff. They gave me I did my initial audition. They loved it. They were like, "Oh, come back here, pack the stuff." And I showed up, and I was so nervous. I forgot every word. It was like, "Bro, I am Hercules." Wait, can I start over? They were like, "Oh, thank you," and I was like, ah. So yeah, I mean,
it happens.
Mulligan would be great. What's another one? Jafar. I always wanted to be Jafar in Aladdin. That'd be really cool.
Fire.
Yeah, that'd be a dope one. And it's not a big role. You get to go in there and kind of sing a song and disappear.
I mean, who doesn't want to play the villain?
Who doesn't want to play the villain?
Who doesn't want to play? Some of y'all are villains in real life. You need to do better. But who doesn't want to play the villain?
To the people he's talking about.
You know
do way better.
Better.
We know who you are.
We do. You're on the list. Okay.
Yep.
What has been your most challenging role to date and why?
So, okay. So I did I went to the small theater and I did 1776 the musical. And I played the South Carolina senator or governor, and usually it's played by a white man for obvious reasons because it's 1776 the musical, and the guy is a politician from South Carolina. So
that's right.
But he has a song called Molasses to Rum, and this song is about the slave trade. And so, one, I couldn't imagine who the people who actually sing it and what they're trying to convey, like when they do it as it's done, you know, when it's not a black male singing. I don't know what their purpose would be or what story. Obviously, they're trying to be true to the text and all of that. But that was challenging for me because, you know, one, I'm singing about selling these black folk for basically commodities. And while I was doing it, there were like playing in the background, it would be like images from like the slave trade and so I was just like, whoa. And so it was kind of hard.
Right.
That was a hard one. And I was younger, and I don't know if I would do something like that now. I mean, I'm thankful for the opportunity I had to do it and to tell it in that way, but that was kind of difficult.
I think that's one of the great things about being in any arena for like some time, like the discernment that comes with that, like being able to decide like, this is something I'm into, this is something that I'm not interested in. Yeah. Well, look, you did it, you tackled it.
I did it.
And you learned something.
I did.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. I love y'all though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Oprah often refers to these things called aha moments. Like, oh, you had an aha. When did you realize you were good at acting or that it was your calling? When did you have that like, aha, like this is something that I could do?
You know, I don't know if I've had that moment yet. Like it's and this could be like artist anxiety, you know, but it's the daily struggle of being an artist, right? Because every day is no. Like especially as an actor, every day is no. Somebody's gonna tell you no. Like you're constantly sending out emails. Hopefully you're auditioning. You know, sometimes the no comes before you even get the audition. You know, that's another big thing. Like most of the no's we get, we don't even see. Right. Especially with TV and film. Like shout out to my agency, but they send us reports at the end of their year saying like, oh, this is what you were submitted to. These are the actual auditions you got. And then from that, maybe you might book something from the audition. Gotcha. And so like the amount of things that you're submitted to versus the auditions that you get, it's like, let's say like if you only get 1% of the things that you audition for, it's probably even greater, like, or smaller percentage of what you actually get to audition for, at least in my case. Right. You know, so I don't know if I've had an aha moment. I struggle daily, you know, not like I ain't got no food, but like struggling mentally. Like every day I wake up, I'm like, oh man, is this really what I'm doing? Right. Like I just finished a run of Sister Act up at Aurora Theater, and I would joke with one of the actors. I'm like, you ever just look at yourself and be like, what am I doing? You ever just do that? You know, because you don't like, growing up, you say I want to be an actor, and you have all of these ideas of, I grew up around artists, so I understood that artist life was a struggle. But you have this thought of like, as an actor, I'm gonna choose the roles that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, and then, you know, sometimes you're doing Forever Christmas at Stone Mountain
Big facts.
140 times
Big
in
facts.
a Christmas season.
I think that's what, in my opinion, separates like real artists from people who maybe just want to get beyond. Like, I feel like people that do things not for, maybe like fame or like whatever you consider like status or whatever, but people that just like, this is what I'm meant to do. This is something I enjoy to do. This is purposeful for me.
Yeah.
That kind of keeps you in it. What keeps you going?
I don't know. I don't know if it's pride. I'm like, hey, I'm this thing, and I will be this thing.
Facts.
And I will force myself on this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Consent matters.
Right. But like, I will be this thing. I don't know if it's a pride thing. I love what I do. I love a lot of the people who I work with. I've made some amazing friends doing this over the years. Met some assholes, some like serious. I mean, there are some nuts out there that work in TV, film, and theater. They're crazy.
Yeah, they keep making documentaries on them.
Woo!
Okay.
These people are crazy.
Nuts. Yes.
It's wild. But I've also made some really like, what I hope are like lifelong friendships.
Because it's like a community. It's your village. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not famous. I'm not rich, but like, there's a little thrill I get whenever somebody, especially like in our community, comes up to me like, hey, I saw you in something.
I know you.
Like, literally, I was at brunch with the family, and a young girl, she maybe was 11, came up with the mom. They were like, hey, we just saw you in Sister Act up in Lawrenceville. Like, oh, she wants to take a picture. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Right, for real.
Can you cash at me $20?
No,
but
I feel like, the universe God, whoever you pray to, will do things like that to kind of like remind you like what you do matters, the work matters. And so, it matters. Good for you.
I hope so.
Okay. Now, I saw you on this season of Chicago PD.
Oh my God.
Okay, I did. I was watching the season, and I was like, Lord, no, they didn't kill me. They shooting.
Yeah.
First of all, you killed it. It was
Appreciate
very thrilling. The scene is thrilling for you who haven't seen it. I think it's episode 5.
I think so.
This current season.
Yeah.
Can you tell me
season 11, episode 5?
What was your experience like on set?
Woo!
Is the preparation for doing something like that on TV different from what you do to prepare for theater?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm not going to say that the TV and the theater instrument are completely different, but it is a different level of communication, which is still something that I'm learning. Because sometimes, and even like all theater communication isn't the same. Like sometimes you're in a musical and there's 2,500 people in the audience, and they wouldn't recognize you if you walked out into the audience with your clothes on. They can't see you.
Right.
And then other times, I've been so close where, I've been in a black box, and a lady dropped her hat, and I picked the hat up and I handed it to her. Like that's a different experience than, being in a musical. So, but with TV and film, for me personally, it's more difficult because there is no escape. Like there is no like not to say that you phone it in theater, but sometimes in theater, you weren't having the best day that day, and you have to find something to convey to the audience, I'm feeling this emotion, and it might not be the most authentic version of yourself every single night. But with TV, you don't have that escape.
Yeah, the spotlight's on you.
Because they're here,
right,
and they get everything. And so the pressure of that is like, hey, we need to see you die. And people need to believe that you actually died. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, people need to know, oh, you died.
Yeah.
Like being on set. So that's the second TV show I've been a part of in Chicago. The other one was shot during the summer a couple years ago. And this time when I went up, it was minus 20 degrees when I got there. And the scene was shot in a doorway. And now the people on set are amazing.
Right.
And they're very aware of how cold it is. And so every time we would do a thing, I would have all of this fake blood on me. we would do a take. They would get you up. You have hand warmers. They would take you to the back, or they would take you to the warming van. And so they were very aware. But it was cold as shit.
No, yeah, -20 ain't no joke.
It was fucking cold. Like my hands were burning on the ground from how cold it was.
Let me tell you, he was acting. We couldn't tell any of that.
Oh, good.
You served it.
Because it was, and you know, wonderful scene partners, Patrice, who's also, Patrice Covington, who's also a Broadway vet. Well, I'm not a Broadway vet, but she's a Broadway vet. Amazing, you know, theater performer. She plays the wife, like, and she killed it.
Yeah, killed it.
Killed it. She's amazing. So, you know, thankful for her being there and thankful for being able to play off of her. But yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, just a very different kind of process.
It was cold. But yeah, and you know, with theater, you tell a full story. Every single, like, boom. Every night, I'm gonna tell you this full story. With TV, it doesn't matter how short the scene is. You might on Monday shoot like, hey, how you doing? And then on Thursday, you shoot what came before that. You see what I'm saying? So you don't
it's
always,
not chronological.
Yeah, when you film it, it's not always chronological. Some people do it that way, but it doesn't always happen that way. And everything is so, and so like that's another layer of difficulty because you have to find your way back into that emotional space without the journey of the story taking you there. So it's like when you're in theater, it's like, oh man, I understand why my character is now upset at this moment. But in TV, we need you upset. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, action.
Because you have to stay in it like you are living this character like continuously on stage.
Every time.
But
the
television is different.
And television is completely different because it's like, all right, expectations, you're in it. And then 3 seconds later, everybody is talking about snacks and all of this stuff. And like, all right, you know, we're going to do this. You know, it's just a different experience.
Pivoting back to theater, can you tell me something that fuels you on stage? Like, you know, some people say they get like a rush before, like, or afterwards. Like runners always talk about like, you know, how they feel after a run or their second win. What is something that fuels you on stage?
There is an energy exchange between audience members and the performers, at least for me. And it's, you know, it's not just them clapping. But like we feel y'all, like we feel the people watching us, and we feel when they're with us. We also feel when they're not with us, you know. So there is an exchange of energy there that you kind of feed off of. Like, and a lot of like my theater professionals will know, like you know, like when you have good houses and when you have not so good houses, it's like, dang, we doing it tonight. Oh, we did that. Like you feel that. So like that, like from a like physical logistical perspective, that kind of feeds me. I really get kind of like a little adrenaline jump from being in front of people and feeling their energy and hopefully like them feeling mine.
Right. No, I love that.
And I like when people clap for me.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Y'all, Marcus Hopkins-Turner, y'all. Y'all better give it to him. Yes.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
We were all watching the actor strike that happened very recently, the writer strike. You know, there's been a lot going on. Do you feel like actors got the protections they needed post-strike? How are you feeling?
Oh man, this is such a spicy topic because so many of us have different perspectives. Actors aren't as in terms of like a working thing, they're not a protected class, just in general.
Right.
There's no job security. There's nothing. Like, if you're doing well, you're doing well. If you're not doing well, you're not doing well. And most people aren't doing well just in general. Like most union actors don't work.
Yeah, I think I read a shocking statistic. It was like most union actors don't even qualify for healthcare because they don't meet the threshold. And I think it was like $26,000 a year or $35,000.
I don't know what. So I get my healthcare goes through the theater union.
Gotcha.
So I don't do mine through SAG. I'm a SAG member, but I do mine through Actors Equity because it's you have to work a certain amount of weeks. But yeah, like most actors just don't work.
Right.
And they don't work a lot acting.
Right.
You know? So it's just, there are no protections ever. Like there's no, like there's nothing is gonna make this a secure, comfortable job. It's just not going to happen. With the, I'm assuming you're talking about like with AI.
Yes, AI.
So AI, I'm not a tech guy, you know, I'm not super convinced on a lot of it. I mean, I'm sure some of it will like definitely like push, but I know like Sora is out there. I think a couple of other companies have like text to video stuff, but the stuff that I've seen is not like, yeah, I'm gonna be afraid as an actor yet. Not to say that it won't get there, but I haven't really seen, like, I mean, I saw a music video. I saw that balloon head guy, and I'm like,
Yeah, there was just a commercial. I think it was trending. I
the
forget the
Toys R
brand.
Us.
Yeah, and it was all AI. And I was watching it, and I was like, "This is creepy."
I mean, it is creepy,
Yeah.
but like what they don't tell you about that is that it took weeks for them to produce that, 90-second or minute long Toys R Us text prompted commercial. Like this still wasn't a quick process. I'm sure eventually they'll make it more efficient, but this still took a lot of manpower, just in a different way.
Right.
So like the people who want to use AI will use it. We're still artists. The people who don't want to use it won't.
Big facts.
Hire
real actors. We don't want AI.
I mean,
I don't want to.
Or if you don't. Like I'm not the guy who's like, hey, you got to hire real people. If you don't want to hire real people, don't hire real people. There will be people who hire real people, and if not, we just go work somewhere else.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like I want to create stuff with real people. I want to use AI to do other things. Like sometimes I want to see how cool, like my kids like the text to image prompt stuff. That stuff is cool. Some of the stuff looks cool. But then it gets real old real fast. You're like, oh, well, this isn't as interesting as I thought it was. But like the kids like it, there's some utility there for producers and stuff like that. And I know like background actors are like afraid. I just saw Nicolas Cage post something about getting scanned. Like he was like this is horrifying and he's terrified. And I'm like,
he was in Face Off. Okay.
I mean, Nicolas Cage has some up and down stuff. Wicker Man was not one of my favorite things, but he has some stuff that we can like. He was the dad in The Croods.
I love The Croods.
He's the voice of the dad. Let's see. We're learning stuff. Ghost Rider, he has some stuff.
R.I.P. to the grandma.
Oh, dang.
She's my favorite character.
Thunder Sisters.
Yeah, Thunder Sisters.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wiggasis. That's my part.
Wiggasis.
I was gagged. I said, is her hair flying? I was gagged. Gagged, y'all. Okay. Do you believe that the theater has made you more of an ally? If yes, in what ways?
Ally, like
LGBTQ, diversity, women. Because I feel like stereotypically, because you're a straight black man, stereotypically, the theater is a safe haven for like the queer community, people that want to create. And oftentimes, I think sometimes people get stereotyped and like, oh, you want to act, you want to do this, X, Y, Z. But I do know sometimes when you're exposed to like people that are different from you, it can like, change you in ways or make you more aware of certain things.
I think like being in theater and just being in the arts in general has provided me an awareness of just a lot of different people. And, like this isn't just people like women's issues or like issues that the LGBTQ community might face, but also like neurodivergent, individuals who have so much to share and have a voice that they need, put out. Like, oh my gosh, there is a gentleman who went to Morehouse. His name is Dave Fortune. He's a director, and Kia Klingman is one of his producers. She's local as well, and he just made a film, and it just showed at Tribeca, called Color Book, and it's about a father and his son with Down syndrome. And I saw the short version of it, and it was, oh man, it was amazing. It was such a beautiful story, and it was so well done, And so I would say like being in the arts has allowed me to have access to those experiences, like you said, making me more aware of what a lot of people want to say and what story they want to tell, what they want to communicate, how they want to be communicated with. I think so in that way, yes. I don't know if that answered the question.
It's like that old adage, like art imitates life. I think my favorite thing about just the arts, media, movie, television, however you like to consume it, is that like, if you create something, if you direct, write, and you put it out there, it's like one of the most powerful ways to reach people,
Yeah.
to spread a message, to touch people. And I've always thought that was very moving. I always thought like directors, writers, people that create are some of the most influential, like powerful people, whether they realize it or not, because you're creating things that people ingest and it changes the way you think. Recently, I saw Origin when it came out a couple months ago, and I hadn't seen a film in quite some time that had changed me. Like I went into the theater one way, and when Origin ended, I was different. Like the way I thought about race and caste, and just a lot of the systems that kind of run, our lives. It changed me, and I think that is the most beautiful and powerful thing about art.
Yeah, I like, and so like being on the inside of that, I get to see the catalyst for the ideas.
Right.
And so like hearing people's stories and what is inspiring them and what is pushing them to, write these things or create these things or be a part of these projects is, kind of forces you to be more aware, like to be more outside of yourself. And there's so many stories out there. Oh my gosh. There's a short right now that's about to show at Bronze Lens, and I saw it last year. It's called Walkman, and it's about I think they're Chinese family who owns a restaurant, and them dealing with like their kids and the dad. Like it's oh my god, I don't want to like if you're gonna see, I don't want to just tell the people story. It was
no spoilers, guys. Go see it.
It's so good. It's so good and so like it's so amazing how many beautiful stories people have to tell.
Facts.
And how many beautiful ways they find to tell it. Like I could just go on and on about like indie shorts, that I've seen or readings that I've gone to about, and I think it's going to the Alliance Riser series now. I had a chance to be a part of a reading. It was called Pepsi Cola Bitch, and we did it at.
That's my kind of movie.
Oh, it was cool. It was really really cool. We did the reading at 7 Stages in Little 5 Points, and it's about a young woman and her experience with a trans man, but it's written to play on like Coca-Cola versus Pepsi.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Interesting. I think one of my favorite things to reference what you were saying earlier, Viola Davis was like, a lot of people want to tell like these big epic stories. She said, but she's always been a fan of like the stories of people, just regular everyday people. She said you should really unearth like those who have passed, the buried. She said, what was your story?
Yeah.
Like, what was your life like? She said, there's something really magical about just portraying everyday people and kind of telling their story. So I agree with that. Okay. So I want to talk about the Tonys a little bit. So I watched
Tonys.
I love the Tony Awards. I watched this past season, and it was very black. There were a lot of black people winning. I was like, Tony's so black, very into it. And so, do you feel like the theater is becoming more diverse? Have you ever encountered any adversity due to your race?
Wow. Yes.
Correct.
Yes. First, like, shout out to Ambry Mon. Congratulations on the Tony nomination. Kara, congratulations on your first Tony win. She was 3-time
victorious, honey.
And so I haven't met her in person, but thanks to a gentleman I met at doing Prince of Egypt, Roderick Lawrence. I love you, bro. I love you. Great. He's been producing films, and I got a chance to be an associate producer on a short film where she was our lead actress.
That's dope.
It's really dope.
That's dope. She's so talented.
She is cold. She is woo.
Yeah.
Man,
And girl, you look good at the Tonys. The hair, the dress.
She's a monster.
It ate.
Adversity due to race, specifically in theater, or just in general. So in theater, oh man, because people like it's such I need to see what I see.
Right.
you know, that's the first information that the audience gets, unless there's a big old bum 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 at the beginning of the thing. First information the audience gets is what they see,
Right.
and that's going to be the first. That's gonna shape the rest of the show for them, right? So because it's such a visual medium, yes,
Just period. Yes.
yes, and like, so a couple of us formed a group, and we wanted to help Black theater artists in the city be more, just feel safer because they weren't safe. You know, people would complain about lighting Black people on stage in Atlanta, a Black city. You know, I remember the reason our group got together was because there was an AJC article about a young lady. The article said about her character, which was an octoroon at Actors Express, said about her character that she sounds like she went to Grady High School and she looks like Aunt Jemima. This is in the AJC. Crazy, right? So wait, so the first thing I want to say is like those of us APS kids know that if you went to Grady High School, you was a fancy kid.
Period. Rich, the fuck, you don't need no job. That's how I know someone from Atlanta didn't even write it. Who the fuck y'all got working at the AJC? Because you about to make me mad. And who don't love Aunt Jemima? It's good. They done rebranded recently.
I was like, was it Pearl Mining or something
like
that?
Let me tell you, it don't taste the same. I don't do it no more.
So, but that kind of stuff, not to say that it was commonplace, but it was, you know, it was there. Like it was there in our community. And like, I know Atlanta, the landscape of Atlanta is changing.
Facts.
But like, look at the theater situation of Atlanta, right? So Atlanta, for a long time, was a majority Black city. I don't know if it still is, but for a long time it was. And you had,
we hanging in there?
Hopefully. And you had like Jamandi, which doesn't exist anymore. It's a theater company. And now we have like True Colors, right? And like there are others like Tiny Theater Company, Dominion Entertainment, so they do Black Nativity. Robert Connor, shout out to Rob Connor, who will be directing A Raisin in the Sun at Theatrical Outfit. I'm not in it, but it's gonna be a really good show. I got a really good cast.
Y'all go see it.
Yeah, go see it. Got some friends in it, and I think they'll be really dope. And Robert Connor does a really good job. But like, think about that for a second, where we have a very small group of professional theater makers, of Black professional theater makers in a Black city. While on the other hand, you have Horizon Theater in Little Five Points. You have Actors Express right over there off of Brady, Theatrical Outfit, which is downtown. You have the Alliance Theater, which is like one of the biggest theaters in the Southeast, you know, Tony Award winning theater. Their shows go to Broadway. They sent Water for Elephants to Broadway recently. They just had Loretta Devine on stage.
Oh yeah, I saw the Preacher's Wife musical. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm sure it was phenomenal. But you got to think like the Alliance is the big theater. It's not a Black theater.
Right.
I mean, one of the artistic directors now is Black, but for a long time it was Susan Booth. But now we have Tinashe. I don't know if you all know Tinashe Bolden. She's amazing. She's an actress in her own right, a director. Now she's co-artistic director at the Alliance, but that's not a Black theater.
Right.
You know, so the majority of theater money flows through white hands in this Black city. And the Alliance budget is, I don't know, 6 to 8 times more than the next theater in the city. So like that has always been an issue for me. I remember like, and a lot of times theaters would complain about finding the Black audience in Atlanta. And I went to a managing director at one of these theaters. I won't say which one. Person is no longer at this theater. But I went to this managing director and they were like, we want to be more effective in Black spaces. I was like, okay, that's great. I was like, hey, could you just name me 2 Black high schools in the city of Atlanta?
Sheesh.
Just name me 2. Right. You want to garner a Black audience. You want to affect Black young people. You want because also your audience is aging, so you
Right.
want young people, you want young black people. Like, name me 2 black high schools, and honestly, you could have just said 2 random black historical figures,
Anything.
and they could have, like, you could have, like, and you might have been right.
Right.
You might have been right. Couldn't name one.
Right. Which is sad. It's like you want to be in community with people because you want access to their money, their funds,
Yeah,
talent,
absolutely.
whatever. You want to profit off that, but you're not in these communities. You don't really care, and that is a lot of like the problem.
I mean, another one. I went to a different managing director, and I was like, hey, how can we get a central black theater in this black city? Because I love True Colors, but they do their shows at the Southwest Performing Arts Center, and those of us from Southwest Atlanta know that Southwest Performing Arts Center is far as fuck. It's New Hope Road. Nobody's driving down there. It's far. Shit's far, bro. It's far. So I was like, how can we get a central black theater in downtown or midtown of this black city? And it was all of this hemming and hawing about like, hey, we're all struggling for audiences right now. It would just kind of cut into the audience. I'm like, well, I mean, my thing is like competition is what's necessary. Everybody needs competition.
True.
And fuck y'all.
And I kind of feel like, you know what, when you give people what they want, it shows. For example, they were saying the movie industry was suffering, the theaters, people weren't going to the theaters, nobody was seeing movies. Furiosa did so badly. Baby, we didn't ask Furiosa because Bad Boys already made $1 billion globally.
I mean,
easy.
Inside Out 2 hit 1.2 billion.
Easy.
So like, yeah, like
give
just like you said, you give people what they want.
Okay.
So yes, to answer your question, yes, there is.
It's hard out
even
here.
in this black ass city of Atlanta.
It's tough. I remember I was watching Beyonce, the Renaissance film, Hey Girl, and she was talking about there was a scene where she was like, oh, I want this particular track. She was telling one of the guys that were her, can you find this? And he was like, that doesn't exist. And she was like, well, I already Googled it. And then she was like, okay, well, I want these kind of lights. Can you find blah, blah? He was like, oh, they don't make those. She said, well, I already found it. She was like, even as a black woman at the top of her career, I am Beyonce. There are still people on my tour that will question me because, I'm a black woman that don't, want to do the work. And so, yeah, like, it doesn't matter, I feel like, what level you're at or, like, what arena you're in. That adversity is a mainstay.
Yeah.
You know what I feel? So, okay, next question. What are some stereotypes about the theater that are untrue? They're not true, guys.
I don't know. What are stereotypes about theater? I don't know.
I feel like people think all the actors gay. I feel like people think that it's only for rich people. It's only for the affluent. I think people think what else? Anybody? Any stereotypes? But yeah, no, I think they exist.
Okay, well, I'll address those two. Everybody's not gay.
Period.
I just met with a group of guys who are all like black straight male fathers in theater, and it was just it was really cool. So yeah, everybody's not gay. A lot of gay people.
I mean, we're there.
Yeah,
but it's not everybody. It's theater's for everyone, guys.
Theater is for everyone.
For you.
Which goes into the next thing. Talk about like, if it's just for rich people. I can understand where that comes from. Because once again, I will stress this, theater is a visual medium. As much as people want to say it isn't and that anybody can tell a story, it's not true.
Facts.
We gather information through our eyes almost before we do anything else. It is a visual medium, and there is like production value that is lost when the budget isn't there.
Facts.
So I can understand where that stereotype might come from, because it takes a lot of money to make a show.
Facts.
Sometimes it might cost you $80,000, $100,000 just to get the rights to perform a show. So I can get that. But there are so many people right now who are fighting to make theater accessible, to everybody, like for differently abled people who, might not be able to physically come to the theater. There's so many people who are trying to make theater accessible, trying to get theater into schools, trying to get, theater into communities that have, been forgotten by arts funding sources. There are a lot of people who are trying to make that happen. So I can understand that stereotype, but I think there's been a more concerted effort to get theater in front of people who it wasn't always in front of.
Right. Which,
Yeah.
hey, y'all doing the real work because art changes lives. It's
It does.
essential. It's important. Y'all, go to a play. You can come with me.
Go to a play.
I go often. You can come with me. DM me. I'll bring you. Okay.
There are lots of good plays going on in the city.
Do you think
now.
theater will continue to grow or shrink with new entertainment models, i.e., streaming, social media, things like that?
Ah, man. So the theater artist in me wants to say it'll grow.
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, theater's gonna continue to strive and like all of this stuff. I
Right.
want to say that, but I don't think that's the reality. I don't think that's the reality because people's tastes change. I never think theater will completely go away, but I mean there are maybe a couple of off-Broadway houses that have had to lay off significant significant staff. You know, I don't think theater will go away completely because you do have your like things that transcend communities. Like you do have Hamilton.
Facts.
You know, Hamilton is Hamilton because it's live and because you can go see it. You go see Hamilton as Hamilton on a screen, it's not the same experience.
It's not.
You know, listening to the cast recording is not the same experience. I love it.
Yes.
But it's not the same experience.
It's a great introduction, but it is nothing like seeing it.
It's nothing like seeing it. Having that theatrical experience, like that live experience, going back to that energy exchange, it's
powerful.
It is.
When we went to go see The Preacher's Wife musical, I was so excited to see Amber Riley. You couldn't,
Come on.
girl, hey, girl.
Scream.
And literally, so we get there, I'm hyped. There are people in the audience that were with me, they know we was hyped. And we sit down, we open the pamphlet, there's a piece of paper, and it falls out, and it said, the role of Julia Biggs tonight will be played by Ashley Jenkins. And I was like, well, who is Julia Biggs? I said, let's scroll through. I said, that better not be Amber. And that was Amber. They said Amber's not here. And I was like, okay, I was sad, but Loretta was still there, whatever. The scene, it opens up with Julia Biggs, the character, standing on first of all, the set design was fantastical. I don't even know how they did some of the stuff. It was, some of the elements was giving Harry Potter. I said, how, because if you've seen The Preacher's Wife, you know Denzel, he's an angel, he got powers. They was doing magical shit on stage. It was fire. But it opens up, she's standing on this staircase in her home, the spotlight, and she just starts singing. And she's walking down the stairs, she's singing, bawling. Like just whatever she pushed the audience, it was so still after her performance. And like that is something that you cannot get unless you go to the theater, y'all. Y'all have got to go and support, see things that you might even be a little bit curious about. I'm telling you, it is a very powerful experience.
And you know, like
shout out to you, Ashley, girl, you killed it.
Yeah, I mean, entire cast was amazing. And people want live in-person stuff. They want it. Like people want it. Like we see it with like popular artists, music concerts. Like people want that experience. They want to be there.
Big facts, big facts.
They want to be there. They want to feel that. So I think like theater has a job to do. Like how do you, like obviously you're not going to have the celebrity of like Beyonce or Taylor Swift. I mean, maybe you can, but you know, but how do you capture like or continue to capture that collective energy that people crave?
Right.
You know, how do you do that? Like, how do you make something, like, how do you draw people the way they do? So, like, theater has a job to do. I do think it'll shrink, you know, just because of how things are going.
Right.
But I don't think it'll ever disappear.
Like, completely go away.
No, I don't think so. Because people, like, when it's good, it's good.
Right.
People know, and people are like, I have to see it. Like I want to be a part of that, and because it's also like it's something they will take with them forever.
No,
like,
literally, art can change you. Like I was saying earlier. Okay, 2 more questions because we gotta go, guys. Okay, so fatherhood. I do want to touch on that briefly.
Oh man,
you know, how has fatherhood impacted the way that you create or perform?
Whew. Dang, how do I answer this? How has fatherhood impacted the way I create or perform? It pushes me to do more of it because, you know, kid is at Atlanta Ballet and like soccer camp and all of that, and things cost money.
Okay.
So, you know, there's that. There is a like, I did become less selective, which is interesting. I did become less selective, which I think can be good and bad. Good where, you know, I now get to experience different stories that, you know, if I didn't need to work, I probably wouldn't do. Like I wouldn't, like I'm not gonna be a part of it. I don't want to do this show.
Right.
Like, you know, but I like, oh, I need to work, and this is the work that I do, so I will work. Bad because it's kind of like, oh, well, I could have did without that experience.
Facts.
You know. So there is that, just from like a logistical, like this is like I have to work. But also like now especially as my kids get older, because my daughter is 13, 9, they ask questions. They see the stuff that I do now, some of the stuff, and hey, you know, oh, here's one. So I did a production of Don Giovanni, and my daughter was like, "Oh, this is the 13-year-old. Like, oh, he really slept with all those women?" And I'm like,
Oh,
how do I now answer this?
can
How do I?
conceptualize what's
Yeah,
happening.
like no,
Oh,
it's no
got
longer
it.
just foolishness
Right,
running
right,
around.
right.
Like, how do I actually explain this
Mhm.
to you, my teenager? I'm like, oh, okay. So like I'm less selective because I want to work all the time, but it just adds another shade of like, how am I communicating with others? Like,
Gotcha.
how could I take this and explain it to a 13-year-old? Am I doing stuff that my kids, if they saw it, would they be proud of? Like,
right.
not like that if it's age appropriate or not, but just would they be proud of the work that I do?
Right,
You know?
right. Are you standing on the table singing about chicken for a fast food restaurant? You know, yeah, just things like that. You know, you just gotta, you
That's
know, we didn't name no
crazy.
names. Okay, last
You
question.
talking about Mary?
I don't know. Last but not
Wow.
least, give me one question to ask the next person that I interviewed. Look, I wasn't there. I don't know who it was. It's just something I heard about. I just heard someone was standing on the table singing about some chicken. You know, I heard it was against their will, but the footage was out there.
Glory. Look, but
That's
let me
what I
tell you
heard.
something. You give me a Mary J. Blige check, you know,
I mean,
I might have to explain to my kids about daddy having to stand on the table and
you gonna eat this fucking chicken. This chicken paid for your
gonna eat
tuition.
this chicken.
This is good chicken.
Like, so.
Yeah, but okay.
Love you, kids.
Give me a question to ask the next person I interview.
Okay.
Yes.
What's a choice that you have made that you can distinctly remember that got you to where you are, like that got you right here today? Not what molded you, but like what's a choice that you made?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's powerful. Okay. Guys, this has been Marcus Hopkins-Turner. Marcus, what do you have coming up? Where can the people reach you if they want to reach out, find you?
Oh man. Reach me. My phone number. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's a joke. I try to be fun. This is part of the improv thing. I'm working.
This a rocket.
Cause I rocked it.
Give me that rocket. Vanished. But yeah, where can the people find you?
Instagram, Black Actor Dad. That's about it. I used to do Facebook. Somebody hacked my Facebook, and I'm old, so I don't know how to unhack it. So yeah, Black Actor Dad on Instagram. I tried TikTok. It's too much. So
Any
Instagram.
projects coming up?
Huh? Well, yeah. Actually, dang. So there's actually a film that I had the short, but the feature version that hopefully will be coming to festivals soon. I want to give it a shout out. Silent Partner, Roderick Lawrence, Salma, Cameron. Also want to shout out Cameron's film, Cameron Carr. Cameron Carr is a filmmaker who's a producer on the feature Silent Partner. And his film, Harlem Fragments, shout out to you, Cam, just won the Best Short Audience Award at Essence Fest. So that's really big. It's really dope.
Congratulations, for real.
Congratulations to him. Yeah, that's really cool. So check out his film if you can. Yeah, Silent Partner should be coming out. I had a chance to be an associate producer on that. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's the titles for me: actor, associate producer, Bearded Wonder. Okay, we had it.
Bearded Wonder.
You all can find me on all social media platforms at Uncle Twirl. That's Twirl with an E. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit up Marcus. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
No, this is really cool.
And like I always tell y'all,
we grew up together.
We did. Real Atlanta. Real Atlanta. But like I always tell y'all, feel free to spill the tea, but don't be messy. Bye.